You ready?
No, but let's go.
All right, we're live.
All right, good morning, evening, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the One Up Podcast with proper lighting this time. We actually remembered to do the whole red and whatever color that is, blue, cyan, whatever. Anyways, my name is always Milos and George. With me, my co-host, George Martinez, and with us again for the second time, because he's so fucking awesome, we have to bring him back, Mr. Israel Marquez.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? Hey, George, quick question, though. I sound like I'm peaking. Am I peaking, or is it just my headphones that sound like that?
Your headphones.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. And behind camera, we've got the one and only transferred Chintankwa. What is you're a veil, right? Right now, you're not Chintankwa apparel.
I'm always available.
Oh, you're always available. You hear that, ladies? All right. The mystery man. Actually, no, I think he's been on the podcast once. You might have seen him. But anyways, for this episode, the mystery man is available. Anyways, all right. So what are we talking about today, George? What's up, buddy?
Well, we brought in Israel because he has a TV show he's working on right now. So he came to talk to us about his process.
Oh, man, the process. How long do we got?
Well, let's start with the difference between like working on a TV show compared to working like on a film. What have been like the standout differences?
To me, the standout differences is you got to write it different, of course. You know, you have to have in mind, like when you finish one episode, where the next episode is gonna, start off and take off, and it's constant change of thinking. It's constantly changing, and it's hard to keep up with sometimes. At least for me, when I'm writing a feature film or a short film, it's a lot easier because I already know beginning to end, and I usually start writing from the end. I write backwards, so on a feature or a series, it's kind of hard to do that. So that's something new, for me.
Has it been where you have to? Well, it sounds weird, right?
Yeah. Hold up one moment. Audio glitches.
Testing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little bit better now. But yeah, like I said, it sounded like it was crunchy peaking. There was.
Yeah, it sounded strange.
Yeah.
There you go.
Something was sending a little bit too much of a signal somewhere. Sounds better now.
We're always troubleshooting. Every time we have something, it's a troubleshoot.
That's how you learn.
Absolutely.
But for working on the TV show, like whenever you're writing an episode, do you feel like you're having to write complete stories for every episode, self-contained, and then that arc across the entire show?
Of course, they have to connect, of course, and there's always like I guess maybe a lead off, maybe on a character that I like to do, like for one, my hitman character, he's sort of the main focus of the whole series, but his sister that's after him is my lead off character, so I'm kind of giving her own story in the whole process. Mm-hmm. So it's just, you have more options to do a lot more things. I put it to you that way. And a feature script and stuff, it's just from here to here, which is, it's okay, but there's just so much more to think about, especially when, like me, I'm inexperienced in writing series, and this was my first shot. It did come easy because I already knew what I wanted, but it can just go so many ways, so many different ways, and that's, it gets confusing sometimes.
So what made you decide to do a series instead of a movie? Like, what was the thought process behind going a series way?
Well, I've always wanted to do a series. I came up with this idea back in 2015, and we did some screen tests and some quick scenes and stuff like that down in Austin. Mm-hmm. I knew I would eventually get a chance to bring this in front of people, which I did. So it's finally happening, But it's just something I always want to do. I like to challenge myself. And I was always told that doing a series is a lot harder, so of course, like, hey, that's just like, a challenge for me, so I wanted to try it, and it definitely is a challenge, there's a lot of logistics in the process.
How's the planning for it going as far as like, what ended up taking more time to do compared to like doing the film behind the scenes?
right now in this time in this age that we're at right now in this COVID age, the locations are the hard. It's taking more time to get that.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all the cast and crew and everything, but right now the locations are really tough. And they're starting to loosen up a little bit, but it's still a challenge.
But you haven't had issues finding like crew members or like filling in positions?
No. I mean, again, like I think I mentioned this back in the first podcast. I like to do everything myself, but so if I can't find somebody, then hey, I'll do it. I can run the camera, I can do the audio, I can direct it, whatever. But I have a good, couple of guys. I can always use more, but the more the better. But yeah.
Well, speaking of the pandemic and stuff like that, that's kind of a good thing that came out for us a little bit. Is a lot of people during the last 2 years decided to just say fuck it and quit their day jobs and stuff. Similar to what you did, we talked about last podcast.
Yeah. How
you got started. You just decided to say, I'm done with regular folk life. I'm going to be a filmmaker. A lot of people decided to do something like that within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it would be actually just a little bit easier to find crew members these days. I mean, maybe not as experienced because, like I said, a lot of people just decided to try and get their foot into the industry. But I feel like it is easier to find people who really want to work on projects, especially, now that everything's loosening up.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's I get a lot of instant messages and stuff. Hey, you need somebody for this or that. Even some people that are finding me on IMDb, they're messaging me, emailing me. I'm like, wow, this has never happened before.
Nice. We gotta get our IMDb updated shit. I haven't updated
even some actors and
forever.
actresses, they're messaging me off of IMDb. I'm like, wow, this is cool. I always thought this was just a popularity thing,
Nah, man, people want to work. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I've talked to are willing to scale their budget. So, like if they're working for somebody who has a very little budget, they'll ask for smaller pay. But if they know, you're a big shot, they're going to ask their correct rate.
Of course.
Which is actually really nice, for those type of people who help out, the small guys. We've had that happen a couple of times on some shorts. They're like, yeah, man, I'll just do it for, this much, or like, we'll work out a deal or whatever.
Yeah, I always like to work for free. When somebody asks me to do something, I'll do it for free. We're all trying to accomplish a goal, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's the money. Well, actually, 99% of the time it's the money that holds people back.
Yeah.
So if I can, keep somebody from, paying me $300 or $400 and then goes back into the project, and I'll do it. I don't care. I'll require one thing: just have a Dr. Pepper for me. That's my payment. We want to run sound, camera, whatever. I'll do it. So yeah.
This time our other friend Manuel was busy, so we didn't get any Dr. Peppers, but we got you Whataburger for later.
yeah. Last time you did, Whataburger's good. I'm on a diet now, so I can't eat that stuff no more.
Oh.
I've been fasting since Monday.
Fasting since Monday? Yeah.
I've gone through the headaches and the bloating and over again, but it's getting better.
Are you just nothing but water?
Yeah, just water. Yeah.
Wow.
I do that every year.
Damn, that's commitment, man. Like I'm too lazy to do that.
You have to have a mindset for it. If you already have it in your mind that you're gonna fail, you're gonna fail. That's it. But it's something I've been doing a long time. In the from November to about right now this time, the holidays I'll gorge and I'll gain, a lot of weight. I was bigger than this, last week, believe it or not. You probably wouldn't recognize me.
Hey man, you need to get into acting because that's what they do. They go up and down and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'd be perfect.
It's easy for me. It's become really easy for me. It's just a mindset.
Nice.
What is the trust?
No, can I speak?
Yeah.
Oh. How long do you fast for?
Depending on my weight. So last week I was about 190.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get down to 165 by the end of this month. So I'll probably fast this one last week, along with my cardio that I do. Usually I see my workouts and stuff on Facebook. So because I'm going to start doing the cardio, I need the energy. So I'll just probably do like little those energy bars and stuff like that. But that's about it. It could be however fast I can get from here to here. It can be a week or it can be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's really no set.
Yeah, understood.
But all I know is I have that goal and I need to reach it.
Do you find any clarity within fasting?
Clarity as in how, like,
As in mental processing? I mean, myself, I fast as well.
Mhm.
I fast with my mother, and when we do it at the same time, I'm more driven to attain a certain goal. It's more starvation.
Yeah, because I hear a lot of people go through it where they start fasting or they go on keto and they say that they kind of lose the brain fog. Like they could think clearer, stay more focused.
Yeah, absolutely. All that food that we eat, that's processed, and it does stuff to your brain. And sugar, like the fake sugar, your brain runs off of sugar. And if you put fake sugar in it, it's going to be, jacked up. But once you get it out of your system, man, it's a freshness that you feel. Anyway, for me it is,
I did feel pretty decent when I was on keto. I did keto for a couple of weeks, a couple of years ago, and it helped me. I mean, I dropped a decent amount of weight too. It's just that, after a little bit, I just kind of fell off of it, unfortunately. And then now I'm working from home, which sucks even more.
Yeah.
Sitting on my ass all day. I think I'm pretty close to 270, and that's my highest. I never thought I'd get this fat. So I gotta start something. I just gotta wait for
Get one of those treadmill desks.
while
you're working.
I just gotta wait for the end of this month to finish with all my broker tests, and then after I'm done with that, basically I won't have to sit at home all day and even after work studying.
Like I said, it's a mindset. When I was younger, I was a professional fighter, and I knew what it took to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always, had that in my mind. I know what it takes me to win, so this is what I need to do, and I just go do it. Because the thrill of the victory, the end result, man, it's like, it's addictive. That's addictive more than the food that I eat and stuff like that. So it's just a mindset.
I'm the opposite. I like food too much.
I love food too. I'll gorge, man, but
I'll get me something good.
Like after I fast and if I go gorge on 2 large pizzas, I'll go put the work in the gym.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Honestly,
4
after
hours.
a while, you just avoid certain foods.
Yeah,
and then
you don't.
you finally go back to it. You enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, the flavors stand out more.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't even want it anymore. You're like, you can't even look at it. That's how I am.
Oh man, like the couple times in my life that I quit soda and I got back to it, I was like, this is disgusting. And then after the 4th sip, I'm like, no, this is pretty good.
It's pretty good. It comes back. It's so easy. They put stuff in it and get you addicted.
Yeah.
I like how we started talking about film. Now we're talking about food.
Yeah.
It's great.
Hey, it's all part of it,
Yeah.
I work out. And that's the thing. While I'm doing it, I'm working out. I'm getting back in my shape because I run the camera and I do everything. So, man, you got to be in shape to do that. Especially, I like shooting in the hot summertime.
Ooh.
Everybody falls out, but I'm still going. I'm like, what? Come on, man.
Me and Tress talked about that a little bit because I told him at the gym, running camera, I get a knot in my back and it just start hurting.
Yeah.
So once I started working out more consistently and doing these warm ups to brush blood into it, it keeps it from hurting. And I noticed that whenever I go and run camera, it won't hurt, or either it takes a bunch of hours until it starts hurting.
That's right.
But I'm like, you just keep improving it, working it out. It kind of helps a lot.
Yeah, that's right. People think I'm crazy the way why I do things like that, but they don't understand there's reasons behind it. I've been out of shape and tried to work camera on one of my films, and man, it was tough. I was gasping for air and getting sleepy. I was like, no, never again. I have to get back to it.
Understandable.
I remember I would run camera and have to get in weird positions and have to hold it.
Hold it with your
Oh no! Yeah.
And bend your legs and you're
It's once I just get a cramp in your back and you're like, oh, I can't do anything about it. I have to hold till the shot ends.
And then you let the camera go, you're stuck like that. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I do it. 'Cause I'm getting ready to shoot and I have to be in shape.
So are you going to be? So like you said, are you going to be shooting, directing as well for the series, or are you getting somebody to assist with directing when you're shooting, or what's the plan?
That all depends. If we get the funding that we want from the certain people, of course, if we get enough, I'm going to have somebody else do it. I'll direct it. Or if they just want to buy it completely, that's good too. I don't have any problems with that. But yeah. If I have to shoot it, and if they want me to do it, then I'll shoot it and direct it.
But you'd rather have the hands free off of one of them.
Of course.
Understandable.
Yeah. This short film that I'm fixing to shoot, I'm going to do it all myself. The sound, all the audio, the camera, everything, lighting. It's an intimate short film, so I just want to make it all for myself. Make it all myself.
When
Go
you
back to my
started
roots.
pre-production for the show, were you thinking about funding or figuring out how to fund?
Yeah, I learned one thing. I learned from writing short films and feature scripts is, we all have this big idea that, hey, we want our film to have this and we have this. But the reality is, and when you go to shoot it and you get your funds together, because it's always just you, when you're first starting, you're like, oh man, I can't afford this and I can't afford that. So something that I've learned is write within my means. And if something better comes up, again, with people with funding, with money, then you can go back and say, okay, well, no, wait a minute, we're going to put this in there, this in there, this in there. It's just safe. It's safe to do. If I'm going to use my own money and shoot this film, I'm going to write within my means.
Yeah.
And just be more interactive with dialogue and story. As for a lot of I don't know if you like. See, I don't really watch a lot of series, but the ones I have watched, it's more about the how should I say it? It's more about the glamour. And for the glamour, you got to have a lot of money. So that's the nicest way I can put it. So you can take that how you want to. But yeah, I like story. I like deep story and just be all about the story. So I write within my means.
I know after a while there was a shift from like a lot of these more dramatic movies used to come out, but it seems like TV started to adapt it.
Yeah.
At least probably like around with The Sopranos is like the one most people would point to that became like a really heavy drama, and like the whole thing feels like something from a Scorsese story.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like I have two people that I'm talking to about this series, and one wants a series and the other one's like, well, this should be a feature film, because you can feel the both, Yeah. And I truly believe that I think TV should be more about that, but it's always just usually about the glamour and selling a product,
of course,
the commercials and stuff like that. So
hey,
yeah.
man, at the end of the day, nothing's free. That's the big thing. Nothing's free.
That's
so
true.
speaking of speaking of investors and stuff like that, how do you go about looking for and finding investors for your projects?
Man,
whether it be a movie or short or series in this case.
That's like the magic question,
I mean, what's your method if it's not a secret method? Because I know you got some secret fishing spots. You also have secret methods of finding your your investors.
The best thing that I realize that works is it doesn't even have to do with finding investors. Is make a film, short films that really mean something and are really good. Because when you do find that one person, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Show me what you got." That's the first thing that I hear. Show me what you got. And if you don't have something to show them, let's say you have a short film or a feature film and it looks like one of them sorry Walmart movies, people are like, no, we'll pass. Because this is something that this is a thing that happens in every platform. I was a professional fighter, I was a dancer, I was doing all this. This is something that happens. There's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody that has something better than you. And if you don't have that, let's say you got filmmaker A and filmmaker B. Filmmaker A has some good ideas, but his movies aren't so good. And filmmaker B looks really good and has good ideas. Guess what they're going to go with? So that's the first thing. Have a reputation. Have a nice cinematic, short film or something that they can, hey, this guy's got something, And sometimes it takes years, man. I've been at this since 2002. And I'm just now starting to get where I want to be. I've been offered, like I was telling him, I've been offered a lot of distribution from some companies. I'm like, no. I've seen what y'all put out, and I don't want to be like that. I'd rather have it all or nothing. That's just how I am. But that's the first thing I would tell people. Make something good, something to show, because that goes a long way. I think that's probably the only thing, other than, going out and looking. Now they're going to come to you. You're going to get that chance, and you got to be ready. That you got to have something ready. Have yourself a what do they call them? The Bible, the packet. Because they're not going to read the script, first of all. They're not going to read it. I'm telling you.
You want that
right
little
now.
elevator pitch, basically.
Yeah, they're not going to read the script. They just want to see pictures, plot. All right, this looks cool. What have you done? Let me see your IMDb. Oh, yeah, he's won a few awards. He's been around, That's what they want to see. So that's my biggest thing. Just do that. If not, another thing that I did, looking for money, for funds, I went around looking for people to invest and stuff, and nobody wanted to do it. So what I did is I started working 2 full-time jobs for a year. There's my money right there. Now, if you got 2 or 3 friends that do it, guess what? Now you got about $100,000 in a year. So you spend 2 or 3 years looking for people with money when you can actually do it for yourself in 1 year. You just got to have that drive, that way of thinking.
Yeah.
I've done that many times. I've worked 2 full-time jobs for 2 or 3 years. When I wanted something, I wanted a new Mercedes. Hey, I went and worked 2 full-time jobs for 2 years. I got it. It works. Hard work works. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
And I would suggest that more than anything else, because once you get your foot in the door, now these investors with big money are like, oh, he's got good ideas, he's got good content, he's a hard fucking worker, obviously, because he works 2 full-time jobs, him and his buddies, for 2 years. Yeah, this guy, we can take a chance on him. Actually, there's just some guy come up, hey, I got this script, what have you done? Nothing. What can you run a camera? No, wait, I just got the script. Nah, we don't know yet, I've seen it happen, so.
Yeah, and it's a good idea, just so you can keep complete control and you don't have somebody else worried about what you're doing with their money.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's more, it feels so much better.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of those big Hollywood movies and stuff just go down specifically because of things like that, where the producers have too much control, and it's like, well, we had to do it this way because of producers, and then those ideas just end up completely killing the project.
Yeah, because a lot of those producers aren't creative. They just see the business side of it.
Yeah.
But when you you get a real creative person and give them money, and watch what they can do. They can do some amazing stuff. A lot of one of my heroes, Alejandro Gonzalez. Man, that's a creative dude, and he runs his own stuff. Yeah, he's got producers, but he don't need them. Anybody's going to give him money because he's just so creative, and they know they're going to win Oscars, anything that he does, So, yeah, absolutely. Producers can kill a film, man, I think. And I think, again, Walmart's full of a lot of them that, hey, we're going to give you this much money, but you're going to shoot it like this, and you're going to do this. Man, that's all it is money.
Yeah. The thing is, see, I kind of, I'm on a little opposite side of those, because I feel like you still gotta get yourself out there. Making those crappy movies is a stepping stone to making better films, in my personal opinion. So doing stuff like that, and having deals with, like you said, I feel like that also makes you look a little bit better, because hey, look, I've got a movie, it's been sold here. Now, yeah, now that's what I can do when I'm restricted. Imagine what I can do when I have free reign.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like, it shows that, under restrictions, sure, but, like I said, free reigns you get to do.
Yeah, it can help you a lot, but what I've seen, I know several filmmakers that are, in that genre of Walmart and Amazon, and they're stuck there forever.
Now, is it because they see the money and they keep going, or is it just something they want?
I don't know. I don't know. Not one that's making any kind of money. Oh. I make more money selling on Amazon than a lot of these people.
Oh, no. Contracts? Are they screwed to contracts?
Yeah, like I was telling him, a lot of these contracts are like, hey, we're going to give you $100,000, but you're going to give us $90,000 back.
Yeah.
To advertise and stuff, because they did that to me. They tried that with me. I was like, nah, dude, you're crazy.
Nope.
I'll just sell on Amazon and make $5,000 a week. I
can't remember what the movie was, but there was something I heard like that, where they made the movie, it won awards, and it started selling, but the actual people who went and made the movie, so it was the directors and some of the producers didn't get any of that money. The distribution company kept it all, and then even charged them for.
That's right.
For distribution.
I went to
contracts, man.
I went to a film festival about 3 years ago. I can't remember which one it was, but one of the owners of Lionsgate was there, and he said it himself. Hey, don't do any of those films. Don't put your film in none of those distribution companies, because you're not going to make your money back. It'll be 10 to 20 years if you even might make your money back. You know, so, and I never did. I had some other, you know, professional Hollywood filmmaker tell me, you know, don't do that.
Okay.
Go for the big stuff. Go to Sundance. If you can sell it there, if your movie's good enough, you know, it'll make it.
That's fair.
You know, that's why I want to do it. You know, those things aren't just I can't even talk because I get so like, you know, I just don't want to do that. That's it. You know, like I said, I want it all or nothing, and I'm content with that.
Gotcha.
You know, but yeah, I think a lot of those. I know several of my filmmaker buddies that have contracts with those distribution companies, and they don't make any money. They're always asking me for money. Like,
oh no.
I'm like, how does that work? I thought you were the one that had the contract, and so they're like, no, it's not like that. So it's pretty sad.
No. Unfortunate, man. Yeah.
Now I'm sure there are some out there that are like, you know, making a killing, but I've never met one. So
for a while, I saw a bunch of people start putting out movies on Amazon, and it kind of deteriorated the market.
Yeah.
Just because they were putting out a bunch of stuff. There's one guy who I was just kind of seeing what the market was like, or trying to figure out how they make money off Amazon. And I found this guy who was putting up videos, and he was kind of bragging he was making like up to $5,000 a month sometimes, and then down to $700, and since he started, it's gone down a lot. And then I was like, well, I wonder what his movies look like. So I went in, and they look like ripoffs of like the History Channel's like Ancient Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's basically doing interviews, and like all his movies are like interviews with the same people, and they're always talking about aliens or like Bigfoot.
That's amazing.
And I was like, man, he was still managing to make money off of those.
There's a crowd
That's
for
cool,
it. Man.
Yeah.
If there's a crowd for it, you know,
I'm an alien fan. You know, I believe in aliens.
Yeah.
I won't watch it, but you know.
I was just surprised at how like little quality there was to it, and it was basically like no more than what you would see put into like a low-end YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I was like,
there's a lot like that, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And that's one thing, you know, if somebody ever tells me, hey, your film looks like that, you know, I'm not arrogant. I'm going to be like, okay, well, let me go fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some people out there that are really arrogant, and they think they're doing the best thing, you know, in the world. And I'm like, okay, man, that's your thing, you know, whatever. It's crazy. But yeah, I've been at it for a while, and I've seen, you know, I even made, you know, attempts to make certain genres that I'm not good at. I realize that I'm not good at those, and they start looking like that, and I'll shelve them. I'll throw them away. I won't ever put them out because I know I can do better. Again, it goes back to that. I want it all or nothing. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Also, I know we talked about how you take a perspective when you're going to filmmaking, as far as connecting to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak a little more about that and how this series is going to connect to the audience?
For me, all my short films that I've done, they've all had like a connection with the audience, you know. And the reason why I know that is because they always come up to me after the festival or during the Q&A, and, you know, depending on which movie they see, they're crying. Oh, it reminds me of my daughter that passed away, and this and that. That's what I want. To me, when somebody tells me that, that's worth more than any award I could ever win, you know, because it resonates with the audience. And for me, you know, I always put a little bit of my life in my films. You know, there's always some truth to everything, all the projects that I do.
Yeah.
Again, with this series, you know, there's a lot of truth to it. You know, I've seen stuff, you know, and, you know, unfortunately, you know, it's a lot of it's not good, you know, just growing up and, you know, seeing people get killed and, you know, people killing themselves, and, you know, it's pretty tough, but there's a lot more people out there that, you know, seen the same or worse than me, so I know it'll resonate with people, and it'll stay real. Yeah. It'll stay real with everybody. You know, I'm not going to sit there and try to, you know, make up some fake story and just, you know, just to get the viewer hooked and, you know, maybe make a few dollars. No, I want you to see, you know, this stuff really happens. There's really, you know, kidnappings and, you know, murders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what this series is about, you know, but it's not, how should I say it? it's about that, but it's about the end result. That, hey, we can change. You know, like the character in the film. You know, he has a little girl and he's taking her to Mexico to be put in the trafficking. You know, the sex trafficking. But he gets a visit from his mother that's deceased. Again, this is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Truth, a little bit of truth in everything in my films. He gets a visit from his mother, and she tells him, like, hey, you're doing the wrong thing, you know. So he gets a change of heart, and he tries to go back and takes her back to her mother. So it's just one of those things, you know, just, hey, people can change, you know. Even though with all the bad going on in the world, there's still some good, and you yourself have the ability to change that. You know, either for yourself or the person next to you, because you know everything that we do affects somebody. You know, there's always a cause and effect, no matter how it is.
You know, this is kind of the same but a little bit different. When you were talking about, you know, making movies that resonate with people and stuff like that. One of my favorite movies of all time. This is a movie from back home called Nebeska Ulica. I think they translated it as Skyhook. It's about this kid who wants to get into basketball. But this is during the war in Serbia, like in the 90s, whenever everything was getting bombed and everything. And so, I mean, it resonated with me as a kid because I remember, you know, staying at home and, sorry, this got really dark, but...
That's all right, it's all right.
I remember, like, when they were bombing the bridges near my house, not choking up because I'm crying because my throat is fucked because I went to a concert last night. Just want to clarify that. But, yeah, I remember our walls in the house shaking. My parents were like, go stand in a corner. You know, if the house falls down, the corners will be safe at least, you know. And, yeah, this movie had a bunch of that, you know. It's just like, you know, it's just these little kids. They're trying to live their life through this whole war thing. And it's just basically the movie's telling you, you know, don't give up on your dreams.
That's right.
You know, like, this is what happens. And then the movie just hits you with the ending of, like, because they went to play a basketball game while there was a raid. And it leaves you with this ambiguous ending, basically kind of telling you that while we're at this game, bomb was dropped on them. Wow. Kind of, sort of. So you're like, was it? Wasn't it? So the movie just had this, like, really gut punch, terrible, sad ending, but the movie was so good. Yeah. And it just basically, I mean, it does tell you that message. It's like, no matter what, don't give up. You don't know what's going to happen. Could be good, it could be bad. Just keep going. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and like I said, it really resonated with me because of, like, you know, all the war times and everything that we kind of went through.
Yeah, and you see, and you remember the film because of that.
Yeah,
and that's what I want.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah. That's the main thing. That's the top of my list, is to resonate with the audience. Mm-hmm. I don't care about money. I don't care about, you know, taking pictures on the red carpet. I want to hear that one person say, "Hey, man, that reminded me of something." You know, that's everything, and that tells me you're on the right track. You know, absolutely.
Man, I need to see if I can. There was these two brothers that lived here. I wanted to make a documentary with them. So the whole thing was they were from back home where I'm from, mm-hmm. and they both ended up being homeless up here. So the whole thing was going to be about, you know, how it's like, because I was going to interview them, and I was going to interview this guy who's basically a millionaire who came from back home. So it was going to be like, you know, the American dream. It's going to be like, you know, this place is. You know, it's savage, it's crazy, but like it gives you as much opportunity to succeed as it does to fail. Yeah. So it's not a miracle you move to America and this happens. Like, you know, you have to know, like, you have to put in. If you don't put in, this can happen. It's not. That's right. Yeah. So It was supposed to, you know, I would try to make it, but then I lost contact with the guys, and
man, you know, that would be good.
Through, but I felt like that was going to be a good, you know. Yeah. I feel like that would have really resonated with a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's what filmmaking's about, man. I can't stress that enough. Yeah. For me, anyway.
Yeah. You know? I mean, hey,
everybody has their thing.
It's like
there's filmmakers I like to read about, and like I'll look through their interviews and stuff. And Coppola said pretty much the same thing too. He said whenever he's working on the project, he takes the project only if it somehow resonates with him and he can make it very personal.
That's right.
And so whenever he made The Godfather, he said it was a very personal project to him, or he made it a very personal project. Yeah. And in order to make the best possible movie, especially spending like 3 years working on it, he's like, it has to be meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at it now. It's like an icon.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. I was writing a script. I think I talked about Rose. You know, I talked about Rose.
You did.
And that started off with me playing guitar. I was just doing a little ballad I was trying to write, you know. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like a, you know, ending to a film. Maybe the girl's dying of cancer. She wants to see her mother, you know. Nah. So I started writing, and as I was playing the guitar, you know, I'm writing backwards, of course, you know. And sure enough, it became this, you know, 30-minute short film about a little girl dying of cancer, and we shot it in Louisiana. And man, it went off, you know, to win countless awards and stuff like that. But it resonated, the music, everything just resonated. And everybody that saw it in the film festival, they would tell me, man, the music and just the storyline, you know, it's just, oh, it made me think of my, you know, daughter, you know, my husband died, and, or, you know, I reunited with my father, you know, just something. It was always something every time, everywhere that I went, all the cities that I went to, you know, more than one people, you know, and that's, man, I can't stress that enough, that's what filmmaking's about, you know.
I gotta try writing like that, man. Like from the end. Usually, my writing starts off with just an idea in the middle somewhere, and then I try to expand back and forth from it.
I think that a lot of people do something like that.
But it just doesn't work.
I had a cool thought, and I want to make that into like a movie, and it's just like having some cool idea, but not putting anything behind it.
Yeah.
That's why I really haven't finished the script in forever, because I'm like, I get a cool idea. This is cool. I get about halfway done, I'm like, I don't know where else to go. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a really good idea. Writing for the ending.
Yeah, because the ending, everybody has an ending.
Yeah.
You can come up with an ending right now. You know, anybody can. This film that I did, No Sunshine, is a crime drama. I saw on one of those crime channels where these two guys robbed a bank and one got killed and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, you know, that's pretty cool. So I wrote that, and I went backwards. Like, what happened before that? You know, oh, they're outside thinking about it, you know. Well, I'm going to give these guys a backstory. I'm going to say one wants to get out and marry his girlfriend, and the other one wants to do one more hit, you know, on a convenience store, you know, and it started going like that. Okay, what did they do before that, you know? And it was easy. The crime drama, just like that, I wrote it, you know, in, I guess, less than a day, and we took it to film festivals. It won too, you know. It was really cool. Yeah, we just shot it on regular, you know, DSLR cameras, you know, that was all that was available at the time. But actually, and we put like the film grain on it, and I had somebody, it's called No Sunshine, and I got the title from the Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. So I got it from that, and I had a girl sing me a acoustic version of that.
Nice.
So, and we put that at the end, man, and it worked, you know. But yeah, right from backwards, and just think, you know, hey, what happened before that? How did they get to this point? How did they get to this point? And it works. If you play guitar or hear a song or something, write a script to one of your favorite songs, man. It works, man. It's there. And if it resonates with you, it's going to resonate with the audience. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to leave off on. Is there anything you want plug or anywhere people could follow you?
Just look me up on Facebook, Israel Marquez. You know, I don't have a fan page or nothing like that. I haven't deserved it yet. I haven't earned it yet, but I will. You know, I'll get that blue dot one day.
But
oh, one quick note though. In your messages, well, in your filming, what kind of emotion are you trying to leave the audience with? Usually, most of the time, like once they're done watching the film.
Usually, I want to take them back to a memory that they had. You know, whether it was a happy memory or a sad memory or something. I'm one of those people that are obsessed with death. You know, I'm obsessed with it. I'm so obsessed with it that, you know, I'm just like, I know all my answers I'll never find here on this earth. I'm gonna find them in the afterlife. That's what makes me my obsession.
Okay.
So I want to bring that curiosity to people, and it's not in a bad way. It's just death is a part of life. You know, a long time ago it was glorified. You know, you died in battle or whatever. Now everybody's scared of it. You know, I'm like, no, don't be scared of it. It's the greatest gift you could ever receive, you know. I want to explore it, and I want other people to see my films and explore it, you know, also. So it might bring up you know, a happy emotion, a sad emotion, but I just wanted to bring out whatever it is inside that you're feeling, whatever the audience is feeling. That's what I want to bring out. And then when they come talk to me, I'll get something feedback off of that and go on to the next one.
All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you wanna have death feel like an end of a film. Basically, you're sad that it's over, but you're happy that you lived through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like this episode,
honestly,
guys. Oh damn!
Let me see one more.
Oh,
He's
I
got
was about
one.
to have a cool ending for it. Damn.
When you just touched on, I was like, on that movie Wind River. You ever see? They're like investigating the death of a girl.
I think I've seen that one.
And
Long
we
time ago.
finally get the whole story. It's like the ending just feels so bittersweet because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the way the justice gets distributed, but you still have that loss of the girl, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a bittersweet movie.
Yeah,
But it's very impactful.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the. I can't stress that enough, man. Just make something that's meaningful, and I'll never shy away from that. Never. That's just never do it.
Well, hey, now that we're on topic of death, I have an extra question too. How do you feel about killing off the main character? What's your feeling on that?
In my series, the main character is killed off.
Damn.
But again, like I said earlier,
Spoilers, man.
throughout the,
Shit.
throughout the series, I'm bringing his sister, because his sister's the one that kills him. You know, she works for the same cartel. You know,
Mhm.
so she was hired to go kill him because he didn't follow orders. Spoilers, man. So I don't mind, because even in this death, he's reunited with his mother. You know, I'll give you a scene spoiler. You know, she kills him, he leaves, he's laying on the floor. As the camera's panning back, you know, from he's laying down, panning up, he's standing next with his mother, because his mother visits him throughout the series. He's standing next to his mother, you know, and then they're looking at his body, you know, and then the camera stops panning up, and then they just walk out of frame and fade to black. So yeah, I don't mind it, because it's I always had like this dramatic, you know, thing happening with when I kill off a character. I've killed off some characters, even No Sunshine. I killed off those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
One ended up killing the other, and then the store clerk kills the other dude, and I dragged it back with that pull out. Ain't no sunshine, she's gone, and I just pulling out. Man, I love it. I don't have any problems with that.
Nice. I feel like a lot of shows are kind of afraid to do that, or they'll do the whole fake out thing, which pisses me off even more.
Yeah.
Where it's, I think one of my main examples against that, I know you're trying to end it, my bad,
Sorry.
was Pacific Rim. Like, I mean, obviously sequel baiting is why they didn't kill the guy off, but like the main dude, if he would have died at the end of that movie, like he was about to, I think that would have made that movie so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The hero's got to die.
Yeah.
You know,
It happens, man.
and
You
he
know,
lives forever.
happens in real life, so they should have done it in the movie.
Yeah, he lives forever.
All right, you got anything else?
That's it. Right now, I'm just getting the sign that we're almost out of power.
All right.
Okay, so I know it's late because you cut me off. I was gonna make this grand old statement. Speaking of death, death of the end of the podcast, whatever, blah. You know what it is. You know where to follow us. You know where to follow him. Tresford, again, you're amazing behind the camera. We should have
Good
really,
job.
if we had an extra person, he would 100% been on over here, because like he's probably more insightful than any of us on the fucking couch. It's just that we need somebody to run our cameras, and
Hey, we'll
just
do it
happened to
again.
volunteer.
We'll do it again with him over
But
here.
yeah, next time, like we gotta have you on again, buddy. Anyways, guys, my name's been Milos Bukaritsa. This has been George Martinez. Israel Marquez. Thank you again for being on our podcast,
Hey,
man.
thanks
It's
for
always
having
a pleasure
me.
talking to you.
Thank you.
And you will hear us whenever we decide to record our next episode. Bye bye.